A lot has been talked about Gravity, a movie that created an immersive theatrical experience for those interested in sci fi movies, hence generating commendable reviews regarding its direction, cinematography, VFX, and even its symbolism. But much less has been discussed about its sound. It is a matter of suspense how the makers created sounds and music for a movie where there is an absence of medium for the acoustics to even exist. But sound being a necessary element of movies, they took a different approach to create them, eventually making them win Academy Awards for both Best Sound Editing and Best Sound Mixing. There are two types of sounds in a movie: diegetic and non diegetic. The primary challenge was creating diegetic sounds. These contain the sounds whose source can be found in the movie. Dialogues, impacts, or even music coming from any source in a scene come under this category. Now, as the whole movie is set in outer space where airborne sound transmission is practically impossible, the sound designers of this movie had something in their minds. They used the concept of sounds through touch. Alfonso Cuarón wanted the sounds to be a result of objects coming in contact with their bodies, the vibrations of which travel to the ears, creating a similar muffled sound. So the sound effects were recorded using transducers, where the audio signals are converted into vibrations, which are then converted into acoustic waves that reach our ears. The sounds include the characters fixing something, grabbing something, colliding with objects, and even colliding with each other. Adding to those sounds, when silence actually surrounds you, your ears become a lot more sensitive to noises you don't often hear in your normal lives. The diegetic sounds include their blood flow, their breathing, and even their heartbeats when the situation is intense. These sounds are exactly the same when you are standing alone in an anechoic room. Also, to give an immersive experience to the audience, it was necessary that the sound is blocked along with the actors and their environment. This means that if the actor is moving from right to left, his sound has to move from right to left as well. If someone is moving behind the camera off screen, his sound has to come from behind the audience. For this, the sound designers mixed them in Dolby Atmos Studio, where the sounds from the actors and their actions could literally be controlled according to their placement and movement on screen. Now comes another equally challenging part: the non-diegetic sounds. These are mostly sounds that are supposed to give a cinematic effect to the viewers. The background score, the voiceovers, or any added sound effects come under this category. Take this scene. Imagine this scene without music, which would make it look like this.
Break, you have to break!
Can't! We're gonna hit hard!
What do I do?
Grab a hold!
But there is something missing, isn't it? It doesn't feel cinematic enough.
Aim. Fire. Grab a hold of anything you can.
That's why Cuarón wanted the music to be composed for a space movie where they could barely manage adding sounds. Composer Steven Price mostly used electronic music with a mix of organic instruments instead of using high-intensity drums and orchestra. After multiple levels of experimentation with music in order to get in sync with the visuals and the sound effects, he finally broke down 5 ways of portraying different emotions in different situations. Low synth and low strings to build tension,
Debris from the missile strike has caused a chain reaction, hitting other satellites and creating new debris. Traveling faster than a high-speed bullet up towards your altitude. Now copy.
Copy all.
high-string drones and synth beeps to portray fear,
Break, you have to break!
Can't! The can's empty. We're gonna hit hard. Grab a hold of anything you can.
reverb piano for helplessness,
Will you mourn for me? Will you say a prayer for me? Or is it too late?
Synth bells and vocals for relief. And a full orchestra for success. Stephen Price used the unconventional way to engage the audience and have them relate to every situation in the movie emotionally through music. In fact, Alfonso Cuarón's every movie constitutes of practical, unconventional solutions to even more ridiculous challenges. Be it the one-shot car scene from Children of Men, or the Bogart scene from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. He has once been quoted that he does not think about the execution process while he writes the screenplay, which in itself creates a challenge once the script is finalized. Filmmaking is considered to be a fantasy world by the general audience, but it's unnoticed things like these which make us realize that making a film involves nothing but logical thinking to answer some very interesting questions. Gravity wasn't amazing because of its stunning visuals or any other factor, but the maker's ability to break rules and try something new. That's what a good movie does, and the audience has to understand that. Because good movies aren't meant only to be seen and heard, they also have to be felt.
Lord, I'm singing you this message up to heaven, asking you to send me down another angel